Hello guys, this is the second topic of section 2, equation of straight line. The previous topic was about finding the slope of straight line. This is about writing the equation of straight line. Okay, we have three different forms of writing an equation of a straight line according to the given information. So depending on what's given, we will choose the form to write the equation. So the first form is point slope form. We will use this form if slope is given and a point is given. So if slope and a point is given, we will be using point slope form, which can be written as y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. And you know this, you studied this before. Let's start with an exercise question. Write the equation of a straight line with the given slope and that point is passing through 3, negative 2. So we have two information. A slope is given, a point is given. So we will use this form, slope point form. So y minus y1, which is negative 2, the second component of the point represents the y, negative 2, equals m, slope, which is given as 3 times x minus x1, which is 3. So that's my equation. I should clear things up a bit. Depending on the options, you simplify the question. Obviously, your options will not have this, so we simplify this. Y plus minus makes plus equals, distribute 3 to the equation. 3 times x, 3x, 3 times negative 3, negative 9. So bring 2 to the other side. Y equals 3x minus 9 minus 2 minus 11. So that's my equation written in slope point form. Another equation, slope given, point given, so the same form will be useful here. Y minus y1, which is 1, equals m, 3 over 4, x minus x1, which is 0. So y equals 3 over 4 will be distributed to the bracket. 3 over 4x. 3 over 4 times 0 is 0. I am not writing 0 here. And bring negative 1 to the other side. So plus 1 is the equation written in simplest form. Here are some related questions in the book. And let me remind you an information about writing the equations. If slope is 0, then your line is horizontal. Its equation is y equals y1. If your slope is undefined, your line is vertical, then its equation is x equals x1. We studied this in the previous topic, if you remember. So by using these two information, we will solve the following questions easily without writing the equation. So here, the first question about this situation. Exercise 25 in the book. Slope is given as 0. A point is given. I don't have to apply this. I know a shortcut here. I know that slope 0, which means the line is horizontal. So whenever line is horizontal, then the equation is y equals something. What is that something? That something is given in the question in the point as 4. So y equals 4 is the equation of this line. Similarly, in the following exercise question, slope is given as undefined, which means your line is vertical. Remember, whenever your line is vertical, my line doesn't look vertical, let's suppose it's vertical, then its equation is x equals something. What is that something? That something is given as negative 1 in the question. So by just eyes, you can solve the question. There is a similar ministry question. It's just asked in 2023 first attempt. Find the equation. Find the equation of a horizontal line. These are the keywords. Equation of a horizontal line with 6 as a y-intercept. So what does equation of a horizontal line mean? like the previous information. If your line is horizontal, its equation will be y equals something. What is that something? Instead of the point, the question gives you the y-intercept as 6. So on the other side of y, we will have 6. Everything is given in the question. Y equals 6 is the answer. So you don't even have to solve it. You can solve it by eyes. In exam, there are some questions with long solutions. There are also questions that can be solved by eyes. So there's a balance in the exam. Another form. This was the first form. It was point slope form. Slope is given, point is given. So use this equation, or not use this equation, use that information. Another form. In this form, we are given 2 points. No slope is given, just 2 points are given. We still apply the same equation, y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. The difference is we don't know what m is. So this is the first thing to do. We know a point. We actually know 2 points. We will be using one of them. Doesn't matter which one to use. And we will find slope first. How do you find slope? Remember, you find slope from the previous topic. Remember, you find slope by using change in y over change in x. So we have 2 points in this question, first exercise question. Find the slope first. This is the first thing to do. Find slope. I pick this as a second point. y2 minus y1, 3 minus 1, divided by 0 minus 2, which is 2 divided by negative 2, negative 1. So I know the point. I know a slope. I know 2 points. Pick one of them. Pick an easy point for you. Apply the rule. Y minus y1. I prefer this point. This seems easier. Whenever I have 0 as one of the components, I find this easier. So I will use this point. Y minus y1, which is 3, equals m, that's we found this as negative 1, times x minus x1, 0. So y equals negative 1 times x, negative x, negative 1 times 0, 0. No need to write. And bring negative 3 over. Plus 3 is the equation of the line. There is another way for some students. This is easier. After you find slope, when you look at the second point, it is y-intercept. If x component is 0, then it is y-intercept. So if y-intercept is given, slope is given, from the previous topic, remember, you can use that form, slope point form. Y equals, slope intercept form, sorry. Y equals mx plus b. So that form is also useful. You know everything necessary to use that form. M is found by you. So it's negative 1, negative x, plus b is given as one of the points, 3. So negative x plus 3. Either use slope point form. This is slope point form. Use one of the points, or use slope intercept form. This is called slope intercept form. So use whatever form seems easy for you. You get the same result. All right, let's move on. 2 points are given another question, another exercise question. Find the slope first. What is the slope? y2 minus y1, 8 minus 1 over x2 minus x1. So I have an undefined situation. I don't even have to solve this. Actually, when I see the points, each point has the same x value. So if you have the same x value, then its equation is directly x equals that given value. You don't need to solve it. You can say, even if you can't think of this, you find the slope. It's an undefined slope. Whenever the slope is undefined, the line is vertical. Whenever the line is vertical, its equation is x equals something. That something is given in the question. And the points, that something is given as 5. So in a nutshell, you can say if your x values are same, your equation is directly x equals that same x value. Similarly, next question. If your y values are same, if you do it in a long way, you will find slope as 0, and you know what 0 slope means. It's horizontal line. Horizontal line means y equals something. Or you can directly say your y's are same. Your equation is directly y equals that same value. Don't solve it. Just solve it by eyes without using your pen or pencil. You can just solve it by eyes. Y's are same. Its equation is y equals that same value. X's are same. Its equation is x equals that value. Here are some related questions in the book. Ministry question 21, first attempt. Ministry question. The same idea here in this question. We are given 2 points. We are asked to write the equation. So similarly, look at the points. In both of the points, you have the same x values, -2. If you have the same x value, then this equation is directly x equals that same x value. X equals -2. See how easy it is? By just eyes, you can answer the question. Okay, this was the second way, second form. 2 points are given. You use the same form, slope point form, but first you find the slope. Or for these kind of questions, don't solve, just answer it by eyes using identify undefined and zero slope information. Last form, you didn't study this in grade 10. You studied others before, but here you didn't study this. In this form, x-intercept and y-intercepts are given. You know what x-intercept is? X value, comma 0, y-intercept, y value, comma 0. Sorry, 0, comma y-intercept. If you have these two intercepts given in the question, then your equation, the form of the equation will be x divided by x component of x-intercept plus y divided by y component of y-intercept equals 1. So you'll have a fraction. You still can use the previous form. It's up to you. Whatever you find easier, you can use it. For example, write the equation if these 2 points are given. The first point is x-intercept. The second point is y-intercept. So I can use the new form that I just learned. So x divided by x-intercept, which is 2, plus y divided by y-intercept, which is 3, equals 1. So that's it. That's how I write this equation. This is a way. The previous way is also a way. Actually, which way to use depends on the options. If you have fraction forms in options, don't bother using this the previous form. You just directly use that new form. But if you don't see fraction, you use the old methods. Another question. The x is given, y is 0, so it's x-intercept. X is 0, y is given, so y-intercept. So it's intercept form. So we can use x divided by x-intercept, which is -2/3, plus y divided by y-intercept, which is -2, equals 1. So you can multiply both sides by negative. So you'll have -1. If you multiply this by negative, it becomes positive. This by negative, this becomes positive. This by negative, it becomes negative. And this is fraction. You flip it. It is x times 3/2. So 3x/2 plus y/2 equals -1. So that's the way. Ministry question 21, 2021, second attempt. When we check the options, we have 2 options with slope point form. The other two options are in slope in intercept form. So you try whatever way you want. So let's try the intercept form first. X divided by x-intercept 2 plus y divided by y-intercept, which is negative 3, equals 1. So do I have x over 2? This minus can come in front. Minus y over 3 equals 1 in the options. Look at the options. X over 2 minus y over 3. X over 2 plus, no, this is not the answer. X over 2, numbers are switched, so that's not the answer. So apparently, these two, C and D, are not my answers. So it's one of these, A or B. So to get A or B, I should get rid of this fraction. How do I get rid of fraction? It's equalizing the denominators and cross multiply. Or from the beginning, you can use the slope point form. But I prefer this. This is up to you. Multiply top and bottom by 3 for the first one. Multiply top and bottom by 2 for the second one. So 3x minus 2y divided by 2 times 3, 6 equals 1. Cross multiply 3x minus 2y is 6. Which option you have this? 3x minus 2y equals 6. One can bring 6 to the other side. So that's, it seems it is B. 3x minus 2y minus 6 equals 0. By the way, this way is called, this form is called general form. We also studied this in grade 10. If x, y, and the number are on the same side, it is called general form. So, depending on the options, you pick the way. Or whatever seems easier for you, you can try that method. At the end, you will find the results. If you use that way, that fractional way, you have to do a little bit manipulations, simplification techniques to find the answer. Or you use the previous way, find slope first and write the equation by using y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. You still get the same answer. So it's totally up to you. Another question. Last question. Partial test 4, 5, 6. There are 3 questions here. And in the last question, the question will combine 4 and 5. Let's solve 4 first. Find the equation of line with slope negative 2 passes through to negative 1. So we will be using the methods that we studied now. What methods did we study? If slope is given, point is given, we use slope point form. What was it? It was y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. So y minus y1 is given as negative 1 equals m, negative 2, times x minus x1, which is 2. Simplify this. Y equals negative 2 to the brackets, negative 2x, negative 2 times negative 2, positive 4. And I had here negative, negative, positive 1. Bring 1 to the other side. Y equals negative 2x plus 3. So I got the first question in this question. Second one, question 5. Find equation. The same question, but I will be using a different form. This was slope point form. The first one can be solved by slope point form. But the second form is up to you. You either use slope point form, but first find the slope, because slope is missing, not given. Or you use the last form, the new form that we studied. I prefer the new form because the intercepts are given as points. This is y-intercept, 0, comma number. Another number, comma 0, x-intercept. So I will use the last form. X divided by x-intercept, which is 1 over 5, plus y divided by y-intercept, which is 1 equals 1. So this is fraction, flip it. 5x plus y is equal to 1. Get y alone. Y is equal to, bring 5x to the other side, minus 5x plus 1. So that's the equation written in simplest form. And finally, the question is asking about point of intersection of the lines in the previous two questions. So it's a nice question. It's a combination of two topics. In the recent years, Wezari also doing this, combining two or more topics in one question. So we got an equation for the first one. We got another equation for the second one. We just find point of intersection. This is section 1, right? The previous section, you just studied it. How do you find point of intersection? You equalize functions. If f of x and g of x are two different functions, we equalize them and find x value first. By substituting x back, you find the y value. We follow these steps. What is the first function? When you isolate y, it's negative 2x plus 3. What is the second function? For question 5, the second function is negative 5x plus 1. We isolate x. Bring negative 5x to the left. 5x minus 2x, 3x. And bring 3 to the right. Equals 1 minus 3 minus 2. Minus 2. So I need x alone. Divide both sides by 3. Negative 2 over 3. So I got my x. Next step, finding the y. How do I find y? By substituting this x value in one of the equations. Doesn't matter which equation to substitute, you'll get the same answer. Let me use the first one. Y is equal to negative 2 multiplied by negative 2 over 3 plus 3 equals negative makes positive. 2 times 2, 4 over 3 plus 3. I need to equalize denominators. Here the denominator is 1, here 3. So multiply top and bottom by 3 here. So I will get 3 times 3, 9. 9 plus 4, 13. Now I got the same denominator, 3. So I got the x value. I got the y value. So write the point. Point of intersection is x, negative 2 over 3. Y, 13 over 3. So this is how we write equations. We studied 3 different forms, 3 different ways of writing the equation. And the last one was the new one. If the intercepts are given, write this as a fraction. In the second one, we were given 2 points. We find the slope first and then use slope point form. The first one was slope point form. So depending on the options or depending on how you feel comfortable, you pick the way for your question. So that's it for this topic.